Jaliya Allen, who was 18 months old, did not have a fully fulfilled life. She will never grow up, and her parents will never get to witness the person she may have been. All of this happened because C.J. Nelson Jr. was playing with a pistol that went off, killing the 18-month-old toddler. His father assisted him in staging the crime scene. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to Jaliya's family and friends. Jaliya Allen was 18 months old. Jamari Allen, Jaliya's father, described her as a loving and sweet baby. She was wonderful and enjoyed saying hello to everyone. She was still learning everything she could. On September 4, 2023, Jaliya's mother planned to take a shower, but it was too hot. The mother entertained her daughter as she waited for the water to cool down. During this mother-daughter playing, a firearm was shot through a bedroom wall, hitting tiny Jaliya in the head. When the incident happened, her uncle Nelson was high on marijuana and was flaunting the pistol. He had previously described the rifle as jammed. Following the gunshot, the 18-month-old was taken to Advent Health Palm Coast South, where it was determined that she had passed away. Nelson Sr., the father of Nelson Jr., was phoned shortly after the shooting and arrived at the residence to give directions on setting up the scene. Nelson Sr. allegedly moved the pistol to the room. He gave the other occupants of the house instructions to give an alibi to the deputies, telling them that he and his son were smoking outdoors when the shooting occurred. While the relatives were at the hospital, he gave his son instructions to try to clean off any traces from his body by taking a shower. When police arrived at the house the day of the shooting, shortly before midnight, they discovered a large number of people in the Ranwood Lane yard. The throng of individuals at the house didn't offer the detectives much assistance as they set out to find out who had shot the toddler. Regarding what happened, everyone in that house presented various versions. To be honest, the claims did not align with the available data. Others in the house were attempting to remove and destroy evidence while deputies were responding. Saving themselves was more important to them than making the murderer answer for his deeds. Nelson Sr. admitted to both detectives and investigators that he did not own a firearm and had no idea where it came from. C.J. Nelson Jr. responded that there was a chance his DNA might be on the pistol as he remembered touching it at a friend's house a few months prior. During the inquiry, 420 grams of marijuana and 11 grams of either heroin or cocaine were discovered inside the house. Nelson Jr. was previously detained on suspicion of possessing marijuana, a misdemeanor, and carrying a concealed handgun on a criminal level. He was placed on probation after entering a plea of guilty. After witnesses claimed to have seen him carrying a weapon at the Ranwood Lane residence the night of the incident, police detained him for violating his probation. The firearm that the investigators retrieved had Nelson Jr.'s fingerprints and DNA on it. The sheriff displayed photos of the weapon, one of which included him holding it. It was discovered by the investigators that C.J. Nelson Jr. was in the bedroom when a firearm went off while he was handling and displaying it. Jaliya Allen, age 18 months, was shot and killed, according to charges against Nelson Jr. since it was discovered throughout the investigation that the crime scene had been altered and that the evidence had probably been removed and cleaned up. More charges against other people may be brought. It was also clear from the evidence and the scene that the individuals in the residence at the time of the shooting were not being completely honest with the investigators. Following the revelation that the father of one of the arrested men had reportedly assisted in setting up his son's crime scene, a second arrest was made in connection with the gunshot murder of an 18-month-old girl. He was accused of lying to law authorities during an inquiry and of tampering with 2 pieces of evidence. The 46-year-old man is said to have a lengthy criminal history, including several arrests and 18 counts for narcotics possession, child negligence, and burglary that date back to 2008. Shortly after the incident, He is said to have assisted his son in setting up the crime scene. Because to their excellent detective work, the detectives were able to connect C.J. Nelson Sr. and C.J. Nelson Jr.
Well, putting a face to a tragedy, this is one-year-old Jaliya Allen. Her father sharing this photo with News4Jax after she was shot at a house in Palm Coast Sunday night and then died at the hospital. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office says 8 adults were at the house when the shooting happened.
News4Jax reporter Marilyn Parker has been following this story. She's joining us live. Marilyn, you heard that 911 call from this horrific incident.
It is chilling and just too painful to play for our viewers. You can hear the people in the background. They are distraught and screaming. Also distraught is this baby's father. He was not there at the time, but he says he's heartbroken and that his daughter was innocent.
Daddy's girl. Jaliya Allen says his daughter Jaliya was a loving and sweet baby. He says she was wonderful and loved saying hi to everyone. She was just learning all she could do. He shares these pictures with News4Jax to honor his baby girl, taken way too soon. We got the 7-minute 911 call from Sunday night. It's just too painful to play. They're screaming in the background. We don't know the man talking, but he tells the dispatcher, a baby has been shot. The dispatcher asks, what happened? He responds, the gun accidentally went off and it shot the baby, he thinks, in the head. Dispatch asks, who had the gun? He answers, my homeboy. At this point, the baby is breathing and conscious. You hear the man saying, Jaliya, Jaliya, it's okay. Breathe, baby. Dispatch asks, where's the gun? He says, it's in the house on the ground. The call ends when deputies arrive. Jaliya died when she got to the hospital. The sheriff's office says they have a person of interest, 21-year-old C.J. Nelson, who they arrested for gun possession, violating his probation, but not for the baby's death. The department says they aren't ruling out any of the 8 adults who were there, and the sheriff says they haven't been totally cooperative. Allen says he's upset and curious because, accident or not, admit to it. He says, I want justice for my daughter.
Now, the statement that the sheriff made about the family being cooperative, we reached back out to the sheriff's department today to see if that was still the case, and we're waiting to hear back. This father is 19 years old. He tells me this is the most tragic event of his life. He set up a GoFundMe page to help with funeral expenses. He says any donations would be greatly appreciated. You can find that link in this story on news4jax.com. Reporting live, Marilyn Parker, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Marilyn.
May Jaliya's family find strength to overcome this terrible pain. May she find rest. If you would like to stay updated with this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the following video.